another panel discussion with our esteemed panelists, and the session will be moderated by Mr. Umar Sheikh. The topic is Shifting from Strive to Thrive for Human-Centered Leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, I would request you to please welcome this galaxy of intellectuals on the stage. Mr. Umar Sheikh will be moderating. And I would also request all the panelists and everybody to kindly join him on stage.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum. I would like to call upon the panelists for this panel discussion. Ms. Zehra, Ms. Sadaf Atif, Mr. Faisal Qamar, Mr. Arif Hussain, Mr. Mustafa Bilal, please. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank you all for being here, and I would like to thank Mr. Ghulam Mustafa and the entire team of HR Legends for putting up such an immense event where all the professionals and senior professionals from the market are under one roof. As the world continues to struggle with immense challenges post-COVID, HR had no exceptions, and thus we as HR experts, mentors and professionals in Pakistan face mammoth issues. I would again like to request the participants and people who are standing to kindly have their seats so we may formally begin this panel discussion. HR Legends has always stepped up the game board and pace up the action plans for the HR industry. Now I would like to invite, I would request my panel speakers to kindly request, to introduce themselves, please. Starting from here.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. This is Mustafa Bilal. I'm working with Feroz 1888. It's Pakistan's leading and the top exporters in the terry towels as a DGM HR and admin, and associate with HR and OD profession since last 22 years, and as well as my qualifications respect to. So I have completed my MPhil in organizational psychology from IOBM.
Arif Hussain Numani. I'm the head of HR for Smile Industries Group. Our group of companies include Candyland, Bisconi, Snack City, and we work under the brand name of Astrofilms for our plastic packaging business, and we have a pharmaceutical startup, Hudson Pharma. Prior to working for Smile, I've worked for reputed companies like HBL, ICI, and Siemens Pakistan. And I bring to this panel an experience of 19 years in the field of HR.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Zahra, and I'm coming in from Jubilee Corporation. Jubilee Corporation is a predominantly engineering organization, and it was established all the way back in '62. It's predominantly a family-run business, and I'm part of the management team that oversees HR and other operations. Thanks.
Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Sadaf Atif. I'm the CEO for HRSG Outsourcing and HRSG SSP. Have been part of the organization for past 20 years. An HR person by profession, and love being part of this progressive organization. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Faisal Qamar. I am the co-founder and managing partner, HRSG BPO. By profession, I am an HR professional and finance professional in the business of technology. About 2 decades of experience being operating head, financial head, and now heading this wonderful firm and offering Decibel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We would like to keep this panel discussion as an interactive session. Basically, there will be specific questions to be asked to specific panel speakers, or we can have a debate upon it as well. Plus, I would like to first put up a question that is across the panel, and every panelist will be putting in their own light over it. Has HR in Pakistan really recognized and understood the true essence of human-centered leadership? I will request to start from Mr. Bilal, please.
Thank you, Umar. I personally feel it has improved. The people has understand the importance of HR and central leadership perspective. जिससे थोड़ी देर पहले रिजवान साहब ने KE का perspective बताया कि that's they have transformed from traditional to the strategical side and that they have taken further steps. So not only in the big side, in the big companies, but as well as the medium and small perspective companies as well, they have given the importance of this leadership or the central leadership perspective. और जिन्होंने अगर मैं कहूँगा कि 20 साल पहले HR का डोमेन देखा या टाइम देखा है खास तौर पे, और वो आज के इस वक्त को कंपेयर करते हैं, और जैसा रिजवान साहब ने अपना KE का कोलरेट का एक्सपीरियंस, तो दे कैन ईजिली इवेलुएट दिस कि वक्त के साथ साथ इसका इम्पोर्टेंस और काफ़ी बढ़ा है.
I would sort of agree with Bilal on this. I think over a period of time we've seen organization become more cognizant about the importance of human capital. More so COVID में अगर आप देखें तो this realization has also come at the forefront that you cannot run a business without its people. If I talk about my own organization, being a family-run business, COVID के अंदर our leadership stepped up and they said कि we were an essential industry. Our order bookers were going out and taking orders on the road. So our CEO and everybody in the leadership team also went out booking with these people just to show their solidarity with them. So being in a lockdown, still going out and working with your people in a local family-run business kind of sort of sensitizes the audience about the fact that the importance that the management gave to its people. I also believe that with all this digitization that is happening, leadership is getting more cognizant of the fact that they have to be adaptable and organizations have to be resilient. And I think all of that can only take place if the leadership team is taking care of its most important asset, its human capital.
So in Pakistan, I think we're going definitely in the correct direction, in the right direction. But I feel HR as a field, as a practice, in terms of achieving its true dynamic human potential, I think it has a long way to go. We will need to understand the kind of role HR can play at the heart of any business and business strategy. We need to move beyond, I think, from traditional workings and move towards paths of taking transformative initiatives. I think Zafar Saab today in his beginning keynote talking about metamorphosis, I think he hit the jackpot. That's essentially what needs to be done. But to this end, I also would like to say that I'm very much hopeful. There is some good work, inspiring work that's being done by many organizations and seasoned professionals. We're all here, and I think that is exactly what we are here to do. And inshallah, I do see that we will have good progress in this endeavor. Thank you.
I think human centricity in HR has come a long way, but there is a lot to be done. Organizations are now shaping up with this concept, and post-COVID, or rather we are still in COVID, but once COVID hit, a lot of things have changed. We have started thinking differently in terms of the HR practices, and empathy is at the center stage of everything. So we have to go a long way right now.
My response is statistically, in Pakistan, we have close to about 50,000 firms, companies altogether, even more. In that, about in 60%, there is no HR department. And the rest, 40% HR department is about 2/3 because of the legality that is needed, because I need to have ISO certification. That's why I'm setting it up. So what we are talking about, the total sum of 5,000-7,000 companies, who have HR department. And then when you talk about HR department, you can further segregate them into an operational HR department or strategic HR department. Then you further segregate the number, say that only 5% companies, as per our research, have the strategic HR department. So all the students sitting here, all the professionals who are pursuing this career, in every counseling session, I tell everybody to join HR, but join HR with IT. Don't become, an HR professional without learning IT, because that's going to be a deadly combination in times to come. And at the same time, when it comes to leadership, there's a lot has to be done. First of all, HR has to take their place. They should not be a redundant department that if it's only good to have, but it cannot sit next to the strategic management. And how many CEOs are passing from HR? These numbers are also not very convincing for many people. But the thing is, this is an evolving process. And to me, HR is the way to go. And anybody and everybody, either IT or HR, that's what we are going to left with. The rest of the professions are going to be merged into machines. Yeah.
Very truly said, Faisal Saab. Very truly said. Ms. Sadaf has highlighted the point of empathy. I would like to take it from there. Is it a challenge for us to recognize the existing thin line between becoming a people pleaser or being empathetic?
Yes, I agree there is a thin line, but one has to understand the difference very clearly, where you are a people pleaser and where you become empathetic. Empathy is not just making somebody happy. Empathy is making them understanding their situation and then offering solutions that really help. So it has to come from within. It should not be off-the-shelf product. Empathy means handling every individual as individual. Every problem needs to be solved individually. That is empathy. People pleasing is just one stroke for everybody.
I would like to also add on this because, I believe that empathy and compassion are the two most important characteristics that an HR professional needs to have. And without this, the profession itself has nothing. I think it starts with empathy, it starts with compassion. And when you talk about people pleasing, I think the thing is that the person has to be, has to have the right value system. And if he's making the right decision, he's making a professional decision, I think the concept or the element of people pleasing kind of goes out with it also.
Thank you very much. A little bit I would like to add in, mostly people sitting under this roof are from the HR fraternity. We are the only people in the company who people seek to recognize. Obviously, recognition is one of the tools that is one of the most important factor in the development of the organization. And at this point, this is a little bit off track that I'm going to be talking about. I would like everybody to recognize the efforts of HR legends, Mr. Ghulam Mustafa, the entire team who has put up this event. Was being planned and then delayed. So I would like everybody to give a round of applause on the count of 3 all together for the entire team who has put up this entire show. Let it be the sponsors, the people who are behind it, the concept and everything. Let's give it up a round of applause. 1, 2, on the count of 3, please. 1, 2, 3, together. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Okay, the next question that I would like to float is, what really are human-centered values that need to be addressed if we are to speak about our region, Pakistan? I would like to ask this to Mr. Ghulam Mustafa.
Mustafa Bilal.
Mustafa.
Thank you. Umar, I conducted one research a couple of years back in Pakistan, local Pakistan companies. And I figured out that there are the 3 and more major factors involved in the employee engagement or employee motivation. And one of the major factor was open and honest communication. Number 2 is the safety, the job safety in the physical form or the overall. And the 3rd one was the one of the respect. And the 4th one was the business partnering. अगर हम इन चारों फैक्टर्स को देखते हैं, either the respect, open and honest communication, जिस तरह अभी फैसल ने कहा कि कई जगहों पे हमारे पास HR है और कई जगहों पे नहीं है, और जहाँ पे है तो वहाँ पर भी एक 5% are the strategic और the rest of are the operational. So in my perspectives, in the Pakistani regions, if we focus or add values or focus on these values, especially on the open and honest communication, the safety point of view, the business partnering concept, and the respect, so definitely it's turnaround or it will engage more positively human source. And if I talk about my company with respect to the Feroz 1888, and if you see about their values, so these we normally focus overall these 4 values, and that's one of the reasons the company has tremendously shown as the growth in last 10 years and 20 years, and right now they are one of the Pakistan leading or the number 1 exporters in the terry towel. So this is one of the, you can say, the story or the successful story of this sector.
If I can just add one more point
Yes,
to that.
please.
I think that point on transparency is very well noted, very significant. Just in terms of Pakistan, keeping the youth in mind as well, I would also say perseverance. The act of just keeping at it, despite difficulties, despite barriers, despite failures, trying not to go just for quick fixes, really believing in yourself, in your mission, and keep at it with your goals and targets to move forward and achieve what you want to believe. So perseverance is definitely one value that I feel I would add on.
And I would like to add one more point to it. I don't think that any company and anybody sitting here representing a company don't have a value list posted, pasted somewhere in your organization. The question is that when you have those values, and I think any value and every value that you write for your company is a good value. But do we practice that value? Do we take and do we do anything to make sure those values are preached, regularly rehearsed, and they are reflecting actually in the attitude of our people? At least, to the best of my observation, we talk about values, but when it comes to practicing our values, our initiatives are whether entirely missing, or if they are there, they are not satisfactory to make sure that those behaviors will be inculcated in the organization. So the part of value perpetration and at the same time refining values, this is very critical. Just a standee of value is not good enough. When the thing is, we will be talking more about it, whether we are implementing a value or whether we are defeating a value. All values are good in my opinion. Yeah.
I would also add to this, before we go to values, I think the responsibility of creating a culture whereby you kind of convince everyone in the organization that every employee matters. We were looking at George Floyd ka jab waqia hua tha, that incident, to unhone kaha Black Life Matters. As an HR professional, I kind of picked on it and I said, the organization needs to have a hashtag where they need to say that every employee matters, right from the person at the gate to the CEO level. I think that realization and that belief system, if it is actually set into the foundation of the organization, I think it sets everything in the right path. And then, of course, what Faisal is pointing out, that on that vibrant culture, you have this robust value system which is practiced by everyone, and then all your problems in the organizations are solved.
I will add one point as well. Just Faisal ne kaha, but I personally feel that the value concept has improved a lot in recent years. मुझे याद है कि किसी ज़माने में values को इसलिए पढ़ाया जाता था कि that you'll have to give in the ISO audits or clear the ISO audits. But right now, not many organizations, but some organizations are starting to evolve and to align their human resources with these values and to communicate these values or practicing these values from the leadership and as well as the employee end point of view. Yes, we need to improve more and we need to focus more in Pakistan perspective to exhibit, to perform or to establish these values in our organizations.
And one such initiative, if you permit, there is a day which is Thursday. In Thursday, 9 o'clock, probably for the last 9 years now, I don't remember except annual holidays I missed, any week where we don't talk about a value session for an hour. So the important part is more you're going to preach about it, more is going to be reflective and more people will get to know about it. So organization need to have some initiative in the domain of values rather than playing those, big banners and every boardroom has on the backdrop the value and values detail. And the thing is, we have to focus on the preaching as well.
I think, Faisal, you've hit the bullseye with this, I think the organizations do put their values on these standees. However, they lack the maturity of communication. And then how do you live those values? What those values translate in terms of behaviors? And how do you monitor that those behaviors are practiced and how those behaviors are rewarded so they are repeated is the missing link of it. So I've worked in various organizations and I believe they do these really fancy and, it would also include some top line MNCs also. They do really nice standees and they do really nice brochures of these values. However, when the employee would read, there would definitely not be a realistic action plan with it, how to sort of exhibit that. So if you're doing these Thursday session, I think that's very, very helpful because it tells the employee how to sort of live those values also.
Thank you. No doubt about it. Policies, procedures, values, visions, missions, ये वो सारी चीज़ें हैं जो कि बुक शेल्फ पे या एक कहीं पे शेल्फ आउट करने के लिए नहीं है. It's all upon the management and the high-ups of the company and the market leaders plus the people who are leading the respective departments. क्योंकि change management comes from the top. If we expect कि हम नीचे चीज़ें ठीक कर दें और ऊपर से मैनेजमेंट स्टाइल्स पे या जो HODs हैं या रिस्पेक्टेड जेंटलमैन और लेडीज़ हु आर लीडिंग द एंटायर शोज़ और दे आर अबव एवरीथिंग और वहाँ पे ना अकाउंटेबिलिटीज़ हो, ना कोई प्रोसीजर्स हो, ना कोई SOPs हो, तो ऑब्वियसली फिर वहाँ पे वो वैल्यूज़, कोर्स, मिशंस वो सब एक शेल्फ के लिए ही रहती हैं. सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स दैट हैज़ बीन टैप्ड अपॉन. थोड़ा सा अब हम इसको मेंटल हेल्थ और एम्प्लॉय की वेलबींग साइड पे लेके जाते हैं. How important do you think addressing mental health in employees or in HR is?
So mental health challenges, the mental health balance and emotional well-being are significant challenges. I feel that businesses, companies, they really need to understand. HR business communities need to have an understanding as to what these challenges entail and what we need to address them. And I definitely feel that within our systems, we need professionals who are able to address these, have the language to see how these can be addressed actively within our, within our teams. I feel the big positive is that we are already talking about it. We are wanting to learn the language and the skill set, the nuanced skill set, that is needed to embrace, mental health challenges. If you talk about the emotional well-being, particularly in terms of HR professionals, I just want to try to bring home a point without, lecturing us too much on this. For example, how many of us, just to get our thought process going, how many of us actually feel comfortable in writing or filling out the leave application form where we are actually saying that we want 2 days off for mental rest or just for self-care or self-rest, as opposed to just writing that we are taking 2 days off or, because we are down with a flu or a fever. Similarly, how many of us actually are comfortable talking to our bosses that, I'm not feeling well today, I need to take a day off. Now, I know what I'm saying here puts a lot of onus and burden on the person who's asking all of this. Undoubtedly, there are two sides to the coin, and we do need to see that, our जो हमारे bosses हैं, क्या उनमें इतनी sensitivity है? Do they have the capacity to understand what the realities are and then respond accordingly? So I think it begins with a bit of self-awareness and really trying to open this this area of discussion more, and that will, I feel, eventually help us into leading, better, careers and lives as far as emotional well-being and mental health are concerned. Thank you.
Anyone else want to?
Yeah, I would like to add a little. Mental health is becoming a major challenge these days. First of all, we've always shied off from accepting this as a problem. At least now we are accepting it. And with the change that has happened post-COVID, this has become a major issue, and every organization has to be sensitive about it because people are talking about it. People want their managers, their HR department to understand that they are going through challenging times, they have issues, and somebody needs to hear them. Somebody has to play the role of a listener. Once that is done, I think this issue would be at least acknowledged and accepted, and then only we can work on the resolution part. The first thing is accepting that this is a challenge, this is a problem right now, and HR has to step up and play its role being a listener and somebody who can give a shoulder for these people so that they can feel comfortable. Thank you.
I think Sadaf ने बात आपने बड़ी सही की है कि 2020 has been very critical. I think post-COVID psychologically it's really disturbed a lot of people. Myself, if I talk about my own self, leading a company's HR of 4,000, 5,000 people, and the kind of जो आपको खबरें पता चलती हैं and the kind of pressures that come with it, also the responsibility of making sure that nobody sort of loses their livelihood. It itself is a burden on all HR professionals. So it's been very, very exhaustive. However, I believe that the most important thing that organizations need to do for mental well-being of their employees is, put support groups within the organization. We've got a very robust support group within our own division, HR, and generally if we see one of our colleagues sort of feeling the pinch, we kind of just rally around that individual and kind of give that ear that person needs. And I think by doing that prototype experiment, I'm kind of very convinced that not only this should be limited to a division, it should be across organization, it should be cross organizations also. We need to build a culture of dialogue, we need to build a culture of communication, we need to build a culture of having support groups. And I think the West has been doing it for decades now, and somehow or the other we just have not picked on it because there's so much taboo to talking, not about mental but just talking. So sometimes when you talk and you communicate and you talk about somebody ill at home, some sort of a pressure that you have, both of work, the fear of losing your job, you just need to sort of vent it out. And for that, organizations need to build a very robust support groups within the organization where people can gather and talk about what's sort of bothering them.
I will add my perspective. I second Ms. Hatif's comments and as well as the Arif perspective. Because acceptance level बढ़ रहा है, जो HR की understanding level with respect to the जो इससे related है mental health related understanding है, because it's directly related to the customer engagement as well. Because अगर आपकी mental well-being का level सही नहीं होगा तो definitely it will impact on the employee engagement and it will relate to customer engagement. So how we can overcome this problem and the issue, वही हम पुराने अपने उन सवाल को discussion को relate करते हैं जो हमने किया कि that's communication, the respect, the confidence and the safety, जो values की बात की, अगर वो perform हो रही होंगी, so that this problem भी control में रहेगा and definitely employee engagement and the customer engagement will also be improving. So COVID के बाद that after definitely इसकी importance और acceptance level ज़्यादा बढ़ा.
थैंक यू. हम बहुत दफ़ा जो है वो सारे इश्यूज़ पे बात करते हैं, कंपनीज़ पे, प्रोजेक्शंस पे, एम्प्लॉयज़ पे. व्हाट अबाउट द HR पीपल जो ख़ुद एक ग्रेविटी की सिचुएशन में होते हैं, वही उसी की हीट बता सकते हैं कि वो किस पोजीशन में हैं उस वक्त. लोग एम्प्लॉयज़ उनको एक डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट में देखते हैं, मैनेजमेंट उनको एक डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट में देखते हैं. तो हमने अभी सारी बातें एम्प्लॉय वेलबीइंग, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, IT सेक्टर, कंपनीज की ग्रोथ, कोविड पेंडेमिक, वी हैव डिस्कस मोर और लेस एवरीथिंग. नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट माय पैनलिस्ट कि अपने इंसिडेंट्स या अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस जो आप लोगों को इश्यूज आते हैं फॉर एज बीइंग एन HR प्रोफेशनल फाइटिंग फॉर द एम्प्लॉयज़ with the management and cascading down the management perspectives to the employees down. Please, over to you.
So if I can just add on, I mean, there's an idea that I just wanted to leave all of you with. I come from a background in psychology. Given that, agar hum jahan tak HR professionals ki baat karte hain, there's an idea that I feel that we can all look into. It comes from this theory of human motivation, and it's called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I think it's something that's very relevant if you're able to understand what those hierarchy of needs is actually suggesting, whether you're at the physiological, safety, security, relation and social building, stage or need, and then moving on to esteem, and then, the self-actualization. So I feel that process as well, if we have an awareness as HR professionals, I think that will give us the tools to address, many of the issues that we are facing. To answer exactly, what you've asked, I feel the most important thing that we can do is be open to listen to each other, whether it is from at the ground team level to the level of management. We need to be open to hearing, and also be sensitive, be aware that we are all individuals. So across the board, whatever life situation somebody is at, their context really has a big role to play day to day in how they're thinking, how they're addressing issues. So I think it has to do a lot with self-awareness, being a bit more conscious than we are or than we have been in the past, and being open to listening. And communication plays a key role, but I feel listening and being open to what other people are saying is going to be that turning point that will help us address the range of matters that we have been discussing here.
I think HR में सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज ये है कि complexity बढ़ गई इस function के अंदर. So over 18-19 years that I've been working in HR, post 2012, I think there's been a radical shift. लोगों को लगता है कि recruitment आसान है because there are a lot of people out there, but when you go to recruit people at top universities, you see that graduates want entrepreneurial projects. They want to go into tech companies. So conventional companies are struggling to get top talent into their organization. Compensation के बिल्कुल तरीक़ेकार बदल रहे हैं, and हमें इसको radically change करना होगा. There's got to be a paradigm shift. You have to give share options to your employees. You have to make them owners into the company. So HR professionals के ऊपर एक pressure तो ये आ रहा है कि उनको अपने आप को reinvent करना है, और हमारा काम daily basis पे मुश्किल होता जा रहा है. Secondly, COVID has added on to that complexity, whereby you've come into the forefront, the center of all this challenge that has kind of come up. So I believe that on top of that, HR का वैसे ही काम बहुत मुश्किल है, because you have to balance stakeholders. So for a sales or a commercial guy, it's easier that he has to manage profits, but when you're talking about an HR person, he's managing stakeholders, right from board members to the grassroots employee, and all of them have a competing different perspective onto a challenge, और एक ही चीज़ को वो लोग बिल्कुल different तरीके से देखते हैं. So you have to balance those perspectives. So that is very, very taxing for HR professionals. So I believe that, as we go forward, the mental well-being of HR professionals and, your own psychological and mental well-being is going to be challenged. And I think we have to kind of really focus on that. How do we stay mentally positive? How do we stay psychologically fit? Because अगर आप mentally struggle करते हैं, even though you're physically fit, you cannot sort of deliver onto that productivity that is required of you. So I believe all HR professionals will be quizzed, will be challenged, and I think the mental well-being of HR professionals is going to be even more of a relevant and pertinent subject in the times to come.
इसमें मैं एक ऐड करूँगा कि जिस तरह इन्होंने बात की कि डिफ़िकल्ट रोल हो रहा है, कि जिस तरह हमने बात की कि HR ट्रांसफॉर्म हो रहा है, तो थॉट प्रोसेस भी मैनेजमेंट का भी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है. तो पहले तो हम ये कहते थे कि जी ये HR जो है एम्प्लॉयर साइड है, लेकिन अब आपको एम्प्लॉय एम्बेसडर भी बनना पड़ता है. तो वो जो कम्युनिकेशन लेवल जो आप मेंटेन कर रहे हैं, वो इट्स द मेन और टफ टारगेट फॉर HR पीपल, बिकॉज दे आर प्लेइंग अ मिडिल रोल फ्रॉम द बोथ साइड. तो ये एक चीज़ जो है वो कम्प्लेक्सिटी और टफ हो रही आ रही है.
I will just would like to add, it is more relating to the strategic part of it. Your micro has to turn into macro. That's what HR would need to do. They need to get rid of the operational mindset very, very fast. And the operational level, and they need to have the kind of strategic perspective which is dynamic. It is not, now we are not going to make 5 years plan. We're going to be making plans for 5 years, but every year we will be revisiting those plans and incorporate those plans again and again and again. So dynamism in these challenging time is going to be absolutely critical, and you will correct everything from the top. You will not go, correct it on the time. More you will be strategic, more you will be see the bigger picture of HR.
Thank you very much. Let's take the discussion towards the employee learning and development side. How do you think that we can best develop company cultures that encourage employees' learning and development despite all odds of the market right now in Pakistan? That is an open question to everybody, please.
I think I'll kind of bring Peter Drucker into this answer of mine. Drucker said that if an employee thinks that the responsibility of developing him or her is the responsibility of the company, he's a moron. And actually, that's exactly the word there is in his book. So I think responsibility of developing oneself has to lie with the individual first. And secondly, the organizations have to build a culture of learning and development, because that is absolutely the most vital link for motivation of an employee. However, I believe that learning and development, there's a rapid shift also. So I was talking to a training solution provider last week, and I said I want a training module for 20 minutes because I have a predominantly millennial and Gen Z workforce, and they don't want to spend more than 20 minutes onto something. So it's like a sitcom. So they go in and do this course in 20 minutes. So I think there's got to be a radical shift towards making learning more easy, accessible, and in line with what the consumption of your workforce is. And that can vary across organizations. So you've got to build systems and processes and a whole way of learning and development in your organization, the best it works for you and for your workforce.
I will only add, organizations can just be facilitators. Individuals have to take charge of their learning themselves, because every individual has different style, distinctive style of learning. So learning platforms are accessible, and individuals have to take charge of their learning. They just cannot rely on the organization to give them classroom trainings and send them on training sessions, because that doesn't work. Now, these are things of the olden days.
I completely agree with everything that has been said on this panel on this. I'll just add one more point to it. I feel looking around us, looking at the generations that we are surrounded with, whether it's millennials or Gen Z, I feel the phrase meaning making, that is something that we need to consider in our language as well. On this particular topic, I feel that the process of assigning or giving value to meaning is definitely something that will help create and inculcate such cultures where we're all more prone to learning and development. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a 5 minutes window. If any of the gentlemen or the ladies sitting here can or wish to ask any question to the panels of us. So let's have an interactive session as well of Q&A. 5 minutes window, please. Anybody can, so we can send the mic across, please. So let's excuse me. We have one question in the house, please.
Hello. Just one question. As you already asked about HR professionals' own motivation. So I think I heard about everything, but if there could be more light thrown on the topic, like being an HR professional, as it was also discussed, that empathy and compassion is very important, and we need to listen to people day in and day out, their problems. Every employee, as it was also said, that needs to be treated as an individual, because that's the basics of empathy. So when you keep listening to all these issues and mostly complaints and, pardon me for saying, a lot of negativity day in, day out as HR professionals, and I think it's very common across the organizations. It's not about any single organization. So how do, I would like to ask the legends here, how do you keep yourself positive and upbeat and still feeling like listening to all these things and keep resolving?
Ji, over to you, please.
I think if you want to be an HR professional, I think you have to be an optimist. You've got to motivate yourself. I believe that बाकी functions में incentives होते हैं, recognition ज़्यादा होती है. HR में generally you're a support function. So it's basically your own career choice. You have to have that temperament where you are passionate about people, you're passionate about making a difference, and you are an optimist. If you have these three things and you want to come in this profession, so yes, the whole negativity issue, the whole complaint issue will always be there. It was something that you have to manage yourself. So it's more like, you have to be self-aware about your strengths. And if you have those, then you should come in this profession. And then you have to self-regulate yourself. So you've got to keep talking to yourself and you have to keep motivating your own self. But you have to have this feeling that you're making a difference in the organization. You're making a difference in people's life. And that is your reward. So if in an organization you hire a management trainee, a graduate recruit, becomes a general manager in front of you, your satisfaction is that you played a part in the development of that person and the progress of your organization. So I think that's your reward, and eventually it's got to be a skill set and a whole psychological way of thinking as an HR professional when you come into this profession.
इसमें ऐड करूँगा कि जो हमें शुरू से सिखाया गया या हमने सीखा कि अगर आप HR प्रोफेशन में आना चाहते हैं, you should be flexible. You should have a passion to listen critique. You should have a temperament to handle the most and most critical situation and positions. So if you are flexible, if you have जिस उन्होंने बात की कि passion to listen critiques, so then वो एक आपकी main essence है कि जो आपको HR group या HR professional बनाने में मददगार होती है.
So I'll just add one more, one dimension to this. Having said all this, if you're looking at yourself as an HR professional at the moment and thinking as to what you can do, I would also recommend, this idea of developing a support system for yourself. We definitely look at our colleagues and peers within the company, but I do find that HR professionals have a very unique challenge, right? Because if you're facing this day in and day out, what do you do? One tool I would definitely recommend for creating that support system is looking at techniques that are out there that address the problems and areas of emotional well-being, right? A lot of us, I'm just wondering how many of us are aware of techniques of mindfulness. That's another whole area that you can get into. So you need that bit of time out for yourself. Either research or become exposed to techniques that are out there, which are there to support you with mindfulness. There's a lot, on meditative practices and in various aspects that you can draw upon from a variety of fields. So I would definitely say, a bit of time out to create a support system for yourself. Mindfulness is one area, and there are lots of other techniques. I'm not sure how accepting it would be for me to talk about that here, so I will stop with mindfulness and, just end that you need to develop your own support system, and there are lots of, help. There's a lot of help available. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
Zara.
would just add one thing. Find purpose in what you do. And if you have purpose will be your biggest source of motivation. So find purpose in whatever you do. Thank you.
Next question, please.
I would like to ask the panel, there is a deterioration of mind health and mindfulness. And how do we educate our pupil? Everybody is saying, I'm the perfect. I do not have any deterioration in my thinking or all. So there is, due to COVID and other reasons, there are a lot of people in organization who have a big problem. Excuse me. So how do we cope up such situation?
Mudabbir Sahab, we didn't understand the question, so can you please repeat it?
I'm talking about there is a deterioration of pupil mindfulness and health issues related to psychological. There are people who are creating problem in various organizations. So we have to have a counselor in house, or we have to, because everybody is treating like saying कि I'm a perfect person. I do not have any weakness in my सोच and तो उनको किस तरह cater किया जाए?
सर इसमें मेरी सबमिशन बड़ी सिंपल और बड़ी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इवेंचुअली कमर्शियल भी है और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के रिटर्न्स डिपेंडेंट भी हैं. Organization in a capacity is going to help you in every way possible with empathy and the rest. And at the end of the day, employee and company, they both can help each other, but the burden cannot be entirely put on company, the burden cannot be entirely put on employee. Then as we discussed, that Arif very correctly pointed out that they have group supports. They have pockets of group support amongst them. So that is not a very costly affair, and organization can manage it. And when group of people are there to listen to you, I think, those areas, can be easily managed, especially in the case where you are tight with your financials. Ji, Arif, if you want to add anything.
जी आई थिंक मुदब्बिर साहब जो बात कह रहे हैं, मुझे ज़फ़र साहब ने आज सुबह में बात की थी कि वो वीकली अब परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट करते हैं. द होल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस डायलॉग हैज़ नाउ गॉन फ्रॉम बीइंग एन एनुअल एक्सरसाइज टू अ कंटिन्यूअस परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेट एक्सरसाइज इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. जो आप बात कर रहे थे, एक रोबस्ट डायलॉग की एक बातचीत होती रहे, कौन बताएगा कि वीकनेस क्या है. आई थिंक द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सोली लाइज ऑन द मैनेजर टू टेल हिज डायरेक्ट रिपोर्ट as his supervisor what his weaknesses are, and then have a more constructive dialogue where not only he should be pointing out कि ये weakness है, but also back it with what the person needs to do to improve himself. And I think if that continuous dialogue is happening in the organization, I think जो बात आप कह रहे हैं कि एक employee समझता है कि मैं बिल्कुल perfect हूँ, उसको इस बात का ध्यान दिलाना कि these are the things that you need to improve in yourself completely lies on HR giving a performance management tool to the company and the supervisors making sure that that continuous dialogue is happening in the organization.
इसमें मैं एक अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करूंगा कि जो मेरा अपना एक उसमें पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है कि हम लोग इस चीज़ को एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करते, ना एम्प्लॉय एंड पे ना मैनेजमेंट एंड पे, कि वाकई उसके साथ कोई मेंटल इशू है. मेरे सामने ऐसे कई केसेस गुजरे कि 2 साल तक हम परफॉर्मेंस काउंसलिंग करते रहे कि उसका एटीट्यूड प्रॉब्लम है, इवेंचुअली उसके साथ रियली मेंटली प्रॉब्लम था. तो वक्त के साथ साथ जैसे हम बात कर रहे हैं कि दैट वी आर ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग एंड फ्रॉम दी ट्रेडिशनल टू ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल, और हम स्ट्रेटेजिक साइड जा रहे हैं. सो द ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी पर्सपेक्टिव, उसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग, क्लिनिकल साइकोलॉजी, इसके ऊपर भी HR को फोकस करना होगा वक्त के साथ साथ, क्योंकि मेंटल इशू रेशियोज अब बढ़ रहे हैं पोस्ट कोविड के बाद भी और वैसे भी जनरल सोसाइटी में. तो जो आपकी बात के विद रिस्पेक्ट टू के परफॉर्मेंस रिव्यूज एंड द अदर थिंग्स, बट द HR साइड हैज़ टू ऑल्सो लर्न दीज कंसेप्ट, द टेक्नोलॉजीज, और इंडक्ट सच काइंड ऑफ पीपल इन देयर HR डिपार्टमेंट, जो कि 2 साल या साल या 6 महीने वेट ना करें, ऑन अ स्पॉट और रिक्रूटमेंट के टाइम ही फाइनलाइज कर लें कि आइदर उनके साथ इशू है या नहीं है.
Thank you very much for your insight into it. I'm really sorry there were many hands that were raised for the questions, but due to the time frame, so we will have to conclude this session. I'm really thankful to all the participants and to the management of this event. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.